Good morning, students.
Yes, Varna.
Ah, yeah. Today we'll continue with Animal Kingdom. Okay. So the last class we had seen about how animals are classified, and we saw a few phylum. That is Porifera, Coelenterata. Okay. Then we also saw Nidaria, that is Coelenterata. Then Platyhelminthes. Okay. Aschelminthes. Okay. So today we'll see Annelida. Okay. Just a second. So if there is any question, you can type it in the chat. Okay. So now, what is the habit of these organisms? So where do they live? They are terrestrial, freshwater, marine, or parasitic. So they're both on land, water. Okay, in water they are both marine and freshwater, and they are also living on other organisms. Okay, and they are also living on other organisms. Okay, just a minute, students. Then the digestive system is slightly advanced when compared to the other groups. That is, they have a pharynx, esophagus, stomach, and an intestine. So the lower ones have only intracellular or intercellular digestion. Here it is clearly demarcated. Then the respiratory system is cutaneous. So what do you mean by cutaneous? Cutaneous respiration means they breathe through the skin. Okay. So some have branchial or gill respiration if they are aquatic. Then the circulatory system is closed. So what do you mean by closed circulatory system? That means the blood will flow through blood vessels. Then excretory system, nephridia. This is very important. Nephridia, and the aquatic forms are ammoniotelic and the terrestrial forms are ureotelic. Why are they called ammoniotelic? Because they excrete ammonia. Ureotelic because they excrete urea. Okay. So take it down, students, fast. So all of you, did you take it down? Okay. Now we go to the next part. Just a second. Yeah. So next part, the nervous system. So the nervous system has paired cerebral ganglia and a double ventral nerve cord. So just like a ladder. Okay. So cerebral ganglia means all the nerves are aggregated there to form a structure which is called as the cerebral ganglia. Then the reproductive system. The earthworm's reproductive system here is slightly unique because they have hermaphrodites. What do you mean by hermaphrodites? Hermaphrodites means they have both male and female sex organs. Then free swimming trochophore larva. Okay. So indirect development. Take it down. indirect development. Done. So we go to the next one. Other features. There is true segmentation. So what do you mean by true segmentation? The body is divided into numerous segments. Okay, and they show metamerism. So what is metamerism? There are repetitive segments. So it is covered by a thick cuticle, and locomotory organs are setae or parapodia. Setae or parapodia. Keep this in mind. Examples: earthworm, leech, nereis, aphrodite. All these are examples of annelids. So please take it down. Setae and parapodia is important. Done. Done, students. Uh, there are students who are telling that they are not able to hear me. Okay. I think now you should be able to hear me, right? Okay. Now we go to the next part. Just give me a minute. Then we go to arthropoda. Arthropoda means jointed legged animals. Arthros means jointed, poda means leg. Okay. So here they are cosmopolitan, they are found everywhere. They're both aquatic, terrestrial, parasitic, predators. Every type of organism is found in arthropoda. So the digestive system, it is well developed. Mouth parts are of different types. Mouth parts are of different types. Okay. So there are sucking types, piercing types, grinding types, sponging types. There are different types of mouth parts found in arthropods. Okay. Next, respiratory system by gills, trachea, book gills, or book lungs. So based on where they are. For example, if they are aquatic, gills. Okay, if they are terrestrial, they are trachea. Book gills in scorpions. Okay, remember this. Circulatory system is open. That means blood will flow through sinuses. Blood will flow through sinuses. Remember this. Then excretory system. Excretory system is either by antennary glands or by malphizian tubules or coxal glands. This is very important, students. Remember this part. It's important. Okay. Usually excretory organs are given much of importance. Then aquatic forms are ammonotelic. What do you mean by ammonotelic? They excrete ammonia. So the terrestrial forms are uricotelic. That means they excrete uric acid. Okay. So take it down, students. Okay. Now we go to the next part. Nervous system. The nervous system. One second, one second. The nervous system has a nerve ring. Can you see here, students? It's a nerve ring. This is considered as the brain, followed by a double ventral nerve cord. Followed by a double ventral nerve cord, which is ganglionated. What do you mean by ganglions? It's an aggregation of nerves. Can you see here? One, two, and three. Three are thoracic ganglions. Can you see? One, two, three. Prothorax, mesothorax, and metathorax. Three thoracic ganglion. Then the reproductive system. Sexes are separate. External fertilization in aquatic forms, internal fertilization in land forms. Okay. Then oviparous. What do you mean by oviparous? They lay eggs. Rarely, some of them are viviparous, which give birth to offsprings. Take it down, students. These points are very important. Yes, viviparous are the ones which give birth to young ones. Which give birth to young ones. Okay. So look at this. They have jointed appendages. That means the legs are jointed. Can you see here? Here, here, here. So they're jointed. Body is divided into head, thorax, and abdomen. You see head, thorax, and abdomen. This is the head, this is the thorax, and this region is the abdomen. Then the body is covered by a cuticle, so which acts as a exoskeleton, which acts as a exoskeleton. Then they show a characteristic feature called as ecdysis. What is ecdysis? The arthropods will shed their exoskeleton very now and then. Okay, this is called as ecdysis. Okay, or also called as molting. Then metamorphosis is present. So they transform themselves from one form to another. Okay, so they transform themselves from one form to another. Okay, metamorphosis. So, for example, if you look at butterfly, they give birth to young ones. So they don't give birth to young ones; they lay eggs, which will become larvae, and later they are converted to pupa, and then the butterfly comes out. Okay, please take it down. Done. So we go to the next part. Look at the examples. Take down the examples. So what is cuticle? Cuticle is a thick external covering, hard external covering that is found in arthropods, which is made out of a polysaccharide called as chitin. Okay, which will, it acts like a exoskeleton. ಸೊ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನು ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಕ್ಯೂಟಿಕಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಎಕ್ಸೋಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಟೇಕ್ ಡೌನ್ ದಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್. And remember that Arthropoda is the largest phylum in the animal kingdom. Take down. Arthropoda is the largest phylum in the animal kingdom. So mosquito ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ example ಸಾಕು. Then take down. Arthropoda is the largest phylum in the animal kingdom. Then write down Insecta is the largest class. Insecta is the largest class. Done. So we go to the next one, mollusca. Mollusk means soft-bodied organism. Soft-bodied organisms. Okay. Here, they are generally aquatic. So they live in water. Vast majority of them. Okay. Vast majority of them, they are aquatic. A very few of them are terrestrial. A very few of them are terrestrial. Okay. Very few of them are terrestrial. So example, land snails. ಅದನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ aquatic organisms ಇದೆ. Then the digestive system, it is well developed. It is well developed. Salivary glands in the liver are present. Okay, remember the salivary glands and liver are present. Respiratory system, gills in aquatic forms. Okay, and pulmonary sac in terrestrial forms. Gills in aquatic forms and pulmonary sacs in terrestrial forms. Okay, remember this. Then open circulatory system, that means blood will flow through sinuses. Blood will flow through sinuses. Okay, then excretory system, organ of Bojanus, ammonotelic or ureotelic. So take it down. Done. So now we go to the next part, nervous system, paired ganglia and their connectives. So here what is happening? So everywhere you see two ganglia. Ganglia means it's an aggregation of or a collection of nerves that are found. Okay, and their connective. Reproductive system. The sexes are separate. The sexes are separate. Remember this. Development is direct or indirect. Development is direct or indirect. Larval forms are glochidium, trochophore, and veliger larva. Glochidium, trochophore, and veliger larva. Okay, then take it out. This is very important. Glochidium, trochophore, and veliger larva. Done. So we go to the next part. What are the other features? Body is divisible into head, visceral mass, visceral hump, and foot. So foot will help in movement. Foot will actually wiggle through and will help in movement. Okay. So here the visceral hump will have all the visceral organs like the digestive system, excretory system, and all that. Okay. Univalve or bivalve shell. Okay. They might have single shell or two shells. Mantle and radula present. So what is mantle? Mantle is a structure that will secrete the shell. Radula is an organ which will help in capturing the prey. It is a rasping structure. It is a rasping structure. Okay. Examples are pila, acanthia, pinctata, sepia, loligo, and octopus. Take it on. Done. So we go to the next part. Look at the examples. Take it down. We go to the next one. That is echinodermata. Echinus means spine, dermata means skin. So there are spine skinned animals. So their habit, it is exclusively marine. Understand this, they are exclusively marine. Their digestive system is simple and complete. The digestive system is simple and complete. The respiratory system is by dermal branchiae, is by dermal branchiae, that are gills or papillae, or by tube feet. Okay. Then the circulatory system is reduced. Okay. And the excretory system, okay, is through diffusion through gills, and they are amonotelic, remember this, and they are amonotelic. That means they excrete ammonia. Then coming to nervous system. Okay, so the nervous system has a circumoral nerve ring. That means around the mouth they have a nerve ring and some radiating nerves into the arms, and no brain. This is very important. They don't have an aggregation called as brain. So the reproductive system, fertilization is external, development is indirect. Ciliated free swimming larva, ciliated free swimming larva. So remember this, students, it is important. Take it down. Done. So here, look at this. The body is covered with spines for protection. So here the head is absent. So even though in the lower form there was a definite head, here the head is absent. Okay. Their exoskeleton is made out of ossicles. So ossicles. Water vascular system is found, that water will enter, move, and when it is moving, they might even help in food capture. Gate power of autotomy. For example, there is an old part or a damaged part that will be taken off, and new parts will be grown. Okay, in echinoderms. Example: starfish, echinus, echinocardium, and antedon. So these examples are also important. So please take a note of it. Done. So we go to the next part. Look at the examples, students. Examples are important. Usually in examination, they might give you a name of an organism and ask you to identify which phylum it belongs to. Now we go to a phylum called as Hemichordata. So what is Hemichordata? Hemichordata, basically they are chordates with very small amount of notochord. So here their habit is marine. Okay, habit is marine. Digestive system is complete. So respiration by gills. Circulatory system is open. So excretion takes place by proboscis gland. By proboscis gland. Then nervous system is absent here usually. So reproductive system, the sexes are separate. That means you have clear sexual demarcation, dimorphism. Okay. Fertilization is external. So that is inside water. Okay, because they're all aquatic. Then development is indirect. That means they have a larval form. Okay. So this is in water because they have a larval form. Other features: cylindrical body composed of an anterior proboscis collar and a long trunk. So, what are the examples? The examples are Belnoglossus and Saccoglossus. Examples are Belnoglossus and Saccoglossus. Remember this. Take it down, students. Done. So now we go to the next part, chordata. So what are chordates? Chordates are those animals which have a notochord. That is, they have a dorsal tubular nerve cord and pharyngeal gill slits. And pharyngeal gill slits. Okay, take it down, students. So the notochord is flexible rod which is located in the mid dorsal line between the alimentary canal nerve in the nerve cord in the embryo. Okay, take it down. Now we go to the next part. Look at the difference between chordates and non-chordates. Please take it down, students. Take it down fast. Students, please keep taking the notes down. I'll just be back in 2 minutes.
Thank you, sir.
ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ಆಗಿದೆ, sir.
Okay. Okay, now we go to the next part. That is phylum. Chordata, phylum chordata will have three subphylums: Urochordata, Cephalochordata, and Vertebrata. Okay, Urochordata, Cephalochordata, and Vertebrata. So take this down. Take down all the points. Every point is important. I'll explain it to you later. So take it down. Okay. Now look at the students. Eurochordata. So notochord is present only in the larval tail. Okay. Euro tail region. Okay. Now the next one. The body is covered by a test made up of tunicin. Okay. So hard test. Then they're exclusively marine. Okay. They're exclusively marine. That means they're found in salt water only. They're found in salt water only. Remember this. Then retrogressive metamorphosis. Okay. So what do you mean by retrogressive metamorphosis? The larval form is advanced when compared to the adult form. The larval form is advanced when compared to the adult form. So keep this in mind. Okay. The larval form is advanced when compared to the adult form. Then, example, Acidia, Salpa, and Doliolum. So these are the examples. Then Cephalochordata. Here, notochord extends from head to tail region, and is persistent throughout the life. And is persistent throughout the life. Okay. Then exclusively marine, and it is fish like. So important, exclusive marine, and it is fish like. Then sexes are separate. Example, Branchiostoma, Amphioxus. So this is very important. Then we'll go to the next one, vertebrata. So all first. So here the notochord having is converted into a vertebral column. Okay. And notochord is present only during the embryonic stage. Okay, is present only during the embryonic stage. Remember this. Okay, embryonic stage. Then the notochord is usually transformed into a vertebral column, which both might be either cartilaginous or bony. Then a ventral muscular heart. Then kidneys for excretion. Paired appendages. So remember this, students. Very, very important. Now we go to Eurochordata. Take down the example, Acidia. Cephalochordata. Major example is Amphioxus. Then coming to vertebrata. So here, vertebrata, remember students, phylum vertebrata is subdivided into subphylum Aenata and Gnathostomata. Aenata are organisms without a jaw. Gnathostomata have it. So, okay, so take it down. So please take it down, students. Then in Gnathostomata, we have two superclasses, superclass Pisces and superclass Tetrapoda. So Pisces is all fish, Tetrapoda is organisms with four limbs, two forelimbs and two hind limbs. Done. So now we go to the next part, Anatha, that is class Cyclostomata. So one good example for this, all the ectoparasites on some fishes. What do you mean by ectoparasite? They stay on the surface of the fish. Elongated body. Okay. So long elongated body, 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits for respiration, which is important. Sucking and circular mouth without jaws. Sucking and circular mouth without jaws. No scales. This is important. Usually, when we look at fish like organism, we expect scales. So they don't have scales. Okay. Then, and paired fins. Cartilaginous cranium and vertebral column. Cartilaginous cranium and vertebral column. Circulation, closed type. So remember this, circulation is of closed type. That means there are blood vessels present. So marine, but migrate for spawning to fresh water. So remember this, and they migrate for water for when the another like salmons. Okay. After spawning, that is spawning means after reproducing. After reproducing. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರೋ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಜಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ. ಜಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಸಡು. ಓಕೆ. ಜಾ. ಬೀಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೊಕ್ಕು. ಬರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ ಬೀಕ್, ಕೊಕ್ಕಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ಓಕೆ. ಜಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಸಡು. ಓಕೆ. Done. Just a minute, students. So students who are not able to hear me, please raise the volume of your phone or your computer. Sometimes what would have happened is you wouldn't have given more volume in your laptop or in your phone or whatever. So please raise the volume there. ಯಾರಿಗೋ ಒಬ್ರಿಗೆ ಇಬ್ರಿಗೆ ಆ ಥರ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀರ. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದಿಸ್, they go to fresh water for reproducing. So after reproducing they die, but the larvae after metamorphosis will come back to the ocean. Okay, that is to marine water. So take it down. So please take it down, students, fast. Just give me a minute. Done. So go to the next one, Pisces. So Pisces basically consists of fish. So here we have two types of fish. The first one will belong to the class Chondrichthyes. Chondrichthyes is a group where the endoskeleton is made out of cartilage. Endoskeleton is made out of cartilage. And Osteichthyes, where the endoskeleton is made up of bone. So here, Chondrichthyes, they are exclusively marine. That means they live in sea and oceans. They have a heterocercal caudal fin. So ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫಿನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನೇನ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಈ ತರ ಶೇಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಈ ತರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಹೋಮೋ ಸರ್ಕಲ್, ಎರಡು ಸೇಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಏನಾದ್ರು ಇದೇನಾದ್ರು ಈ ತರ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ದಿಸ್ ಹೆಟ್ರೋ ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಅ ಹೆಟ್ರೋ ಸರ್ಕಲ್ caudal fin. Then their endoskeleton is cartilaginous. Endoskeleton is cartilaginous. Gill slits without operculum, that means open gill slit. Okay, done. Open gill slit. Skin is with placoid scales. Skin is with placoid scales. Remember this. Then teeth are modified placoid scales which are backwardly directed. Teeth are modified placoid scales which are backwardly directed. You would have seen in shark. No air bladder. So they have to swim constantly to avoid sinking. Sinking ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮುಳುಗೋಗೋದು. Okay. Then sexes are separate. So males pelvic fin ಅಂದ್ರೆ at the bottom, the posterior end, they have fins called as pelvic fins. Called there are structures called as claspers, and these are found in male. Just a minute. Found in males. Take it down. Okay, internal fertilization, and many of them are viviparous. What do you mean by viviparous? They give birth to young ones. Okay, example scoliodon, that is dogfish, pristis, sawfish, and all this. Take it down. Now we go to Osteichthyes. What happens in Osteichthyes? They are marine and freshwater. They are for both in marine and freshwater. Then they have a homocircle caudal fin. Can you see the caudal fin here? So ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಹೇಗಿದೆಯೋ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಕೂಡ ಹಾಗೇ ಇದೆ. Homocircle caudal fin. Then bony endoskeleton. That means their endoskeleton is made up of bone. Terminal mouth. ನೋಡಿ, terminal mouth. Gills, 4 pair covered with an operculum on each side. Remember this. Okay. Then cycloid, ctenoid, or ganoid scales, or ganoid scale. Air bladder for buoyancy. Air bladder for buoyancy. Then the sexes are separate. Buoyancy ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದೇನಾದ್ರು ಸ್ವಿಮ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತೇಲ್ಬೇಕು ಮೇಲೆ. Okay, that is why they have a air bladder. Then fertilization is external, that is in water, mostly oviparous. Okay, that means they lay eggs. Development is direct. That means young ones will resemble the adults. So take down all these points, students. Take this down. So take down the differences. Sorry, take down the examples. All these examples are important, students. Please take it down. So take down the example. Then now we go to tetrapoda. So what is tetrapoda? Basically, they have four limbs. Tetra means four-limbed organisms. Okay. There are four classes here: class Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves, and class Mammalia. Take it down fast. So we go to the next one. So class Amphibia. So why are they called amphibians? Amphibians because a part of their life cycle is spent in water. So remember this. This is very important. So usually what happens? We tell that amphibians are those organisms which live both on land and on water. Say for example, there are even humans will go for swimming. Does it mean that they are amphibians? No. So what you have to remember here is that, okay, is that amphibians are those organisms where part of their life cycle is spent in water. Okay, so for breeding they require water environment. They have pentadactyl limbs. That means they have 5 fingers. Very important. Pentadactyl, 5 fingers. Okay, then they have moist skin. Then they have moist skin. Okay, without scales. So slimy skin without scales. Then tympanum. What is tympanum? Tympanum is a structure that will represent the ear. That will represent the ear. So they don't have an external ear like us. So they sense any vibrations. Okay. Then alimentary canal, urinary and reproductive tracts open into common chamber called as cloaca, which opens to the exterior. Respiration by lungs, if it is a terrestrial form, gills in larva, and if it is an aquatic form, and through skin. This is very important. Okay, this is important. Okay, so remember this. Three chambered heart. So two auricles and one ventricle. In the ventricle, what is happening? Both oxygenated and deoxygenated blood are getting mixed up. Then poikilotherms. That means their body temperature will change according to the external temperature. Then the sexes are separate and fertilization is external. Remember, fertilization is external in water. Then they are oviparous. Oviparous. Remember this. What is oviparous? They lay eggs. Development is indirect. That means they have a larval stage. And take down all the examples, students. First, done. Now we go to reptilia. So reptiles are those organisms which will lie usually very close to the ground. Okay, so here they have a dry cornified skin with epidermal scales and scutes. With epidermal scales and scutes. Then snakes and lizards shed their scales as skin cast. So you would have seen how ಪೊರೆ ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, that is skin cast. Then tympanum will represent the ear. So they don't have an external ear as we have. So they have tympanum which will sense vibrations. The limbs are of two pairs if present. Some reptiles limbs are not present. Example in the case of snakes. Then three chambered heart. So the heart is three chambered, but in the ventricle, what is happening? There is a septum that is present, which will partially separate the ventricle. But the heart is four chambered in which one? Crocodiles. Very important. It's a unique one. It is four chambered in crocodiles, and they are poikilotherms. And they are poikilotherms. That means their body temperature will change according to the ambient temperature. Then fertilization is internal. So fertilization is internal, which will take inside the body, and they lay eggs. That is why they are called oviparous, and the young ones will resemble the adults. That is why development is direct. Just a second. ಬರ್ಕೊಂಬಿಡಿ ಬೇಗ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್. Done. So take down all the examples. Important. Take it down, students. Take all of them. Very, very important, especially the scientific names given. homeotherms, and they are homeotherms. So what do you mean by homeotherms? Homeotherms means organisms which have a constant body temperature. They have a constant body temperature. Okay, no change in body temperature at all. Okay, so they maintain a constant body temperature. Double respiration, one by air sacs, one by air sacs connected to lungs. Then no urinary bladder, because if the urine is collected, then extra weight is there, so no urinary bladder. Fertilization is internal. Remember this, fertilization is internal. Oviparous, that means they lay eggs. Development is direct. Development is direct. Okay, like this. So take down the examples also. So first take down these points. Okay, 1 second. Take down these points. Done. Okay, now we go to the next part. Take it down. Done. So we go to the, can we go to the next one? Okay, take it down fast. All the examples along with their genus name. Done. So we go to the next part, that is mammals. So what is the characteristic feature of mammals? It is mammary glands. It is mammary glands. So they have two pairs of limbs for walking. Okay. So humans are bipedal, but rest of the mammals are all walking on four legs. Okay. So which help in climbing, burrowing, swimming, or flying. The skin is with hair. The skin is with hair. External ear, that is pinnae. External ear, that is pinna, is present. So none of the other organisms in the world have a pinna other than mammals. Then heterodont. What do you mean by heterodont? They have different types of teeth. They have different types of teeth. Remember this? They have different types of teeth. Okay. Then thecodont. That means the teeth are lodged in the sockets of the jaw. The teeth are lodged in the sockets of the jaw. Okay. And diphyodont. They have two sets of teeth. They have two sets of teeth. The first set is milk teeth. The second set is permanent teeth. The second set is permanent teeth. Then they have four chambered heart. So here there's complete demarcation of oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood. The oxygenated blood will flow through left side of the heart. Okay. And deoxygenated blood will flow through the right side of the heart. And they are homeotherms. What do you mean by homeotherms? They maintain a constant body temperature and respiration by lungs. So there are aquatic mammals also. Still the respiration is through lungs. So take down, students. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is internal. And viviparous. That means they give birth to organisms, the young ones, except echidna and platypus. Development is direct. That means the young ones will resemble the adult. So take it down. Done. So we go to the next part. So take down all the example, students. Yes, indirect develop means there is a larval form. Direct develop means the young ones will resemble the adult, no larval form. Take down all the names, very important. Done. Okay, students, we'll finish here. We'll solve a few questions for today and then we'll continue in the next class. Okay, just give me a minute. So we'll solve a few questions now, students, at least 5 questions today. The first one, look at this. Which of the following is considered as a basis of classification? So here, symmetry, yes, radial symmetry, bilateral symmetry, asymmetry, all that is taken into consideration. Then body cavity, yes, we take body cavity also into consideration, that is coelom. Segmentation, yes. So all of them are correct here. Segmentation, body cavity, and symmetry. So we use all the three for classification. Okay, very good. Then the organ system level of organization is observed in organ system. Yeah, it is in molluscans. Come on, tell me. Radial symmetry is seen in. Yes, radial symmetry is seen in coelentrates also, ctenophores also, echinoderms also. It is found in all the organisms here. Radial symmetry. So if you cut through the center along the axis, you'll get two similar halves. Okay. Done. So this is important. Now we go to the next one. Coelom is absent in. Yes, very good. They are absent in flatworms. They are absent in flatworms. Correct. Okay. That is platyhelminthes. Whereas these are coelomata, coelomata, and coelomata. Okay. So it is absent in flatworms. Pseudocoelom is present in. Where do you find pseudocoelom? Fifth one. Pseudocoelom. Pseudocoelom is found in roundworms. Roundworms, no. Annelids are coelomates. Flatworms are acoelomates. Echinoderms are coelomates. Annelids and echinoderms here are coelomates. Flatworms are acoelomates. Roundworms are pseudocoelomate. Okay. Okay, students, will continue in the next class. Please do study for animal kingdom and come. Okay. Thank you, students.